when you're like taking a shower and you're, visualizing and trying to manifest whatever goals and dreams you have in the shower, everything enhances.
You know why?
Well, one, because you're coming together with who you are, right? They say that the body is over 75% water.
Yeah, that's what
right?
I was going to say.
And when the water hits you, you're getting more of your own element into you. Mm-hmm. And now if you're practicing meditation or manifestation within the water, you're closer to the source. Mm-hmm. All the different ideas floating around, they're not your ideas. They say that ideas are spiritual things seeking for a body to manifest them. The power of grounding and being in tune with nature. Check this out.
Let me see.
Silver part. You see that? So that's on the concrete and producing that. Hold on your hand. No, hold the silver part.
Okay, so right there she's holding onto this device for electrical current. You can tell that it's currently right now like at 70, right?
Oh, I thought it was 0.
You see that?
Yeah, it's 70.
Stand in the grass. Stand in the grass.
Holy crap.
Somebody from the UK saw strawberries here in the United States and wondered why our strawberries are white from the inside. So you know how when you cut your strawberries, usually it's red around, but in the middle part, it's white. So check this out.
Another case in point. They are white.
Chelo, and we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Nomas podcast, Chelo. This is going to be episode 123.
Okay.
So what happened last weekend?
Last weekend we had Jalen's first birthday party.
Yeah.
Her actual birthday was on the 23rd and we took her to Disneyland, and then on the 28th, that's when we had her birthday party here at the house.
Yep. Can't believe we're parents of a 1-year-old baby girl. Freaking mind-blowing, right? I've said this in the past. First of all, welcome back to the podcast. We skipped a week. Just because honestly I was drained. For you guys that don't know, like, we're fixing up here around the house. We were doing a brand new patio cover, roof, deck, I guess. Not a deck, but like a
brand
roof.
new patio.
Yeah, a patio, and we redid it, and pretty much all these weeks in the past month, I was working with Chelo's dad, like after work, and then after work I was coming and editing here and there, and then finally the day before or the week before the baby's birthday, we finally finished it. We cleaned up the yard. But I was just so drained after the baby's birthday, and the whole week I just didn't want to do anything. So I took the week just to relax, enjoy, and clean up. There was a lot of cleanup. And yeah, finally I feel like we're recording this on Saturday.
The 5th.
Yeah, the 5th, July the 5th, and it's currently 9:56 p.m. So it's late. Once again, I'm wearing the glasses. I'm freaking tired now again. But yeah, how did it turn out? How was the baby's birthday?
Honestly, it was pretty good. It was just like freaking stressful because you're just trying to get everything to be good. I don't want to say perfect, but good.
Yeah.
And I mean, the day of like a week before, we had my family come over and they helped us clean the patio, so that was a big help.
Huge.
And then Angel did like kind of like the basic stuff, was just cutting the grass and like getting the dump, because there's a lot of trash from the patio.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to catch up to things. I don't know, I just feel like parties are really stressful.
Yeah, seriously. And then, by the way, I even though I did take the week off from the podcast, I was still editing. And for you guys that don't know, like, I do have like a smaller channel for vlogging where I document a lot of like my life and our life, and now with the baby's growth. So by this time, I'm actually uploading it on Sunday, which is tomorrow. But by the time this podcast is live, I'm gonna leave the vlog link in the comment section in case you guys are interested in watching that, so you guys can see a little bit of everything that we're just mentioning now. But yeah, so I ended up editing the vlog, and that took a little bit of time. I still have a Disney vlog that we took the baby for her actual birthday. We took her to Disney. A lot of not a lot, but one of my coworkers / friend was mentioning like, oh, why do you want to take your daughter to Disney? It's not even worth it. She's not even gonna remember. But the thing is that and I think even Betty mentioned it, my cousin Betty, that a lot of those memories for like your kids at such a young age, in reality it's not for them, it's for our memories, right? Like I want to be able to like show when the baby gets older, like, look, we took you to Disneyland when you were 1, and she's always gonna have those pictures, you know. I think those things are just more of memories for us, for sure, because I mean, she's not gonna remember, she's only gonna see it in pictures. So if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast and you came to the baby's party, I just want to say thank you for taking the time. I feel like now people like are so busy with life and everything, so I just appreciate everyone's time even more. And even if you just watch the podcast or listen to the podcast, I just want to say thank you. It's been a long journey. I think we're getting close to the 3-year mark, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what happened to your keys, Chelo?
Okay, so we had the birthday party. There was a lot going on, and everything turned out good. We were supposed to have a jumper, but I ordered it last minute, and then freaking Amazon delayed it, and it got here the day of, but it got here pretty late, so we didn't end up having a jumper, but we'll have one next year. And I think for sure now, like, I'm like, next year we're not doing it in the house, dude. Like, there's just so much shit going on with people coming in and out and like all over the place. But long story short, my keys went missing. On Sunday, the day after the party, my parents came over and my comadre, and Angel was supposed to go get a pizza, and he never really drives my car. I usually drive both cars, and he's like, oh, can I take your car to go get the pizza? And I was like, sure. And then he grabs my keys. I have a wristlet for my keys, and he's like, your keys are not in the wristlet. And I was like, what do you mean they're not there? And I thought you were joking around, and then when you went like this and you're like, they're not in there, I was like, where are they? And I started getting stressed out, dude. Like, I even got a headache, and I was like, dude, like, where are they? Because those keys are my spare. Because when my mom used to drive that car, she lost the original keys, and then that's the only set of keys that we have. So if something happened to them, like, I was gonna be screwed. That's why I take care of them a lot. But anyways, Angel was like, I can't find the keys, like, they're not in there. So then I started like going through the whole freaking house. I was like, dude, where are they? He ends up getting his car and going to get the pizza. And then when everybody left, I was like, dude, we need to look for the keys. So we're like looking all over the place, like, and we can't find them. And I was just like, oh, dude, like, where are they? Angel was like, oh, just call locksmith and see how much it is for a key. And it was freaking, I feel like usually on Google it said it went from like $100 and something to almost $300 for a key. Yeah,
keep in mind I felt a little bit guilty because I was the last one that drove the car, and I was the one that picked up the keys trying to go pick up the pizza. So I kind of felt guilty. I'm like, man, like, it kind of like, well, who was the last one that grabbed the keys? So like, oh man, it's kind of like my fault. But we checked the cameras, and on the cameras, me walking back inside of the house, you can see the actual key in my hand. Like, I had the whole key bunch, the bunch of keys all together, and they were still intact.
Okay, so to that, the last day that Angel moved my car was the day of the party, because the taqueros got here and my car was in their way, so they come back up into the front yard. So Angel moved my car to his side, and I literally like parked in the street when Angel was like literally getting out of my car. So I had the cake, and Angel was walking right in front of me. So it's like, dude, if you would have dropped the keys, we would have both heard it. Right. And then when we saw the camera footage, Angel had the wristlet, and you can see that my car key and the alarm were on there. So I was like, dude, like, did somebody just freaking took him out? And there was like, oh, let me throw him in the trash, or let me take him away, or was a little kid playing with them? Like, there was just so many things that I couldn't think about. But I think the most thing that I was stressing out. I was like, dude, like if somebody did it in a with a bad intention, like they could have just came back later and drove off with the car.
Yeah. At that point, we started like thinking, hey, what if like somebody took him, or, like just por hacer la maldad, or a kid, like so many different scenarios we started playing like in our heads, right? And we started like, you even wanted to go through all the trash.
Yeah, I was this close to go through all, like I was willing to go through all the freaking trash, dude, to just be like, because the party was on Saturday and like literally all the trash cans were full by Sunday morning. So I told Angel, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go through all the trash because trash pickup was today.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they're in the trash, dude, like I don't want the trash to take them. And then I'm like, fuck, like they were in there.
Yeah. So at that point, I think it passed like 1 or 2 days, and then I just told Chelo, you know what, like let's call the freaking locksmith. Whether the keys come out or not, like at least you'll have that peace of mind that you have the spare key to be able to drive around, and hopefully we end up finding the real key, right?
Yeah. So then I think it was Tuesday, and then we went to get Menchie's, and then we were calling different locksmiths, and then we found one, and by the time I guess Angel ended up dealing with them because I put the baby to sleep and then you were with the locksmith. But we found we got the keys on Tuesday, the spare key. And then Wednesday morning or Wednesday like noon, me and Jaylene went to the store because we're going to make mole and we're going to go get something else. So I don't know, like by this point I'm like, ay, pinche llave no va a aparecer. You know, like I got over it and I was like, oh, like who took my key or like where is it? And I don't know, like at this point, like my mind was like reset and I was like, dude, the key's not gonna pop out. Like I didn't even care anymore. I was like, whatever, dude. Like I'm thankful that Angel got me another key. Like that's everything that matters. So I went to throw something. I went to the trash. And keep in mind, Angel, myself, my parents had already looked in the front yard. So I'm like, I went to throw the trash away. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go walk around the front yard again. So I start walking the front yard. And then I go down the car, like around. And when I get to the front door, I'm like, oh, let me go see like where, because Angel has like a bunch of dirt on like one of the sides. And I was like, let me see there again. So I'm walking down and literally like a couple steps away from the car, like I'm like just looking around and I'm like, ay, pinche llave, like no va a aparecer. And then there's a little bit of grass there. And then I look and I was like staring at it and I was like, there's my freaking key. And it was right there. But it's so weird that it was there because we all looked there.
Yeah, we all looked there. And then also we saw the cameras. And if the key were to be lost, it would have been lost inside of the house.
Exactly. Like that way it didn't make sense. And then if Angel would have dropped it that day when he moved my car, we would have heard it.
Yeah.
But then the camera showed that he walked in with the key and then my car never got moved after that. So it's like, how the hell did the key even get over there?
Dude, but I really, really feel like so many people go through similar scenarios that you freaking lose something and you end up finding it in a spot that you already looked.
You know what happened? You know what's always happened to me? Like in the past, like I would lose something. Like for example, my headphones. I would always be losing them, and I'm like, like aquí los dejé. Like, or I would tell myself like, I'm gonna put them here para que no se te olvide.
Yeah. And
then I would go to that place, and I'd be like, dude, like where are my headphones? And like, I would get so frustrated, I would start crying.
Yeah.
And then do like 15-20 minutes later, they would pop up in a random ass drawer in a random ass corner, and I'm like, dude, like how did they even get here? Like I know I would not have put them there.
Yeah. So we kind of started thinking of different theories, and even Chelo was speculating, dude, like what if it's a duende, you know?
Yeah, and the thing too, well, let me get to that. But the thing is that we originally had the food at a certain time because I didn't want to be serving people, and I didn't want people being in and out of the house. Like I just wanted everybody to be hanging out outside. But as good Mexicans, obviously, no, but like a lot of people didn't make it on time for the food. So everybody was going in and out of the house, and everybody's walking towards the bathroom. And what we don't know is that when Angel walked in the last time that he had my keys, we don't know if he put the keys in the front entry table, because that would have been easier for them to go missing, or if he put him in a drawer where we always put the keys. Like that's what we don't know, if he put where did he put him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a lot of people going in and out, and I was like, dude, like I don't want to think bad, but it's like, how did the keys make it out there? And literally, I went through every single clip of the camera, and I was like, okay, let me see if like a lo mejor alguien like they just threw him there, but no, nothing. So I don't know how the keys made it out there, but now I found those keys, and then now I have the spare.
Yeah. So we were even. Well, one of the theories was like, what if it's a duende, right?
Yeah, I told Angel, like, dude, what if we have a freaking duende or something? Because, like, I just don't get it. How they would even fucking be over there, like.
But is that one of the things that they say that duendes do? Like,
yeah, they say they hide your stuff.
Really? Like mischievous things?
Yeah, like travesuras. But I was gonna tell you, like, there's one of my old coworkers. I haven't seen her in a long time, but one of my old coworkers, she would always tell me that when she would go grocery shopping, she would get like a bunch of like sopitas, like the little packets of sopa to make sopa, and that
like the noodles.
Yeah, like
ramen?
the like not the ramen, but like las conchitas or the letters,
okay,
like those sopitas.
Oh, okay.
And she said like she would always buy a bunch of them, and that she would put them away in the pantry, and that all of a sudden she'd be like, "Ay, ahora quiero una sopa," and then she would go to the pantry and they would be missing. And she'd be like I bought a bunch and I haven't made him. And they would be missing. So she's like, capaz si tengo un pinche duende aquí. And then it got to the point that like almost every time she went grocery shopping, she would buy them and they would go missing within the week. And she got so annoyed that she started telling her husband like, hey, like, aquí les voy a poner, and like, just so you know that I put him there. And like, we both know that they're there. And even when she would do that, they would still go missing. So she was like, she's like, she thought, I feel like she really was into the idea that she probably had a duende or something.
Dude, I'm super curious to see if the same thing were to happen and if she were to actually put a camera there.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. But like, she would always tell me, like, I was like, oh, like sometimes I would see a meme de un duende and I was like, oh, el duende y sus sopas. Like, I would just send it to her.
Yeah.
But like, no, I was like, oh, maybe like you put him somewhere that you don't remember y luego le van a salir el bonche de bolsas con las sopas. And she's like, I've put him in a specific place and I'm like, this is going to be the section for the sopas, and they always go missing.
Or do you ever think it might be like a glitch in the Matrix or something like that?
It could be that too, dude, but it's just like, I don't know, dude. That's just so annoying. I hate losing stuff.
Because it happens to everybody, right? It happens to everybody that you put something in a specific location and then for some reason it always happens like that. It pops up and you're like, dude, ahí estaban. Like, what the heck? You
know what Leslie told me earlier? She's like, maybe you guys were all so freaking stressed trying to find the keys that you guys were not even looking right. And it could have been right in front of your freaking face and you guys just like, les pasaron and you guys were so stressed to find it.
I don't know.
Que no pusiste atención.
I mean, that could be a possibility, you know.
Because, dude, like, how did freaking 4 pair of eyes miss the freaking keys?
Yeah, I don't know. And so many people passed by there, too.
Yeah, dude. Know? And then after that, because I kept seeing the footage and everybody, like, left. And then there was people walking up and down. Yeah. And then there was like, dude, like, what if somebody could have taken them? Because we had the Amazon people dropping off stuff and then the Jehovah's Witness and like other people that like come and drop off random things at the door. I was like, dude, anybody could have seen them and anybody could have taken them, but they were there. Yeah. And then a part of me was like, like, I remember my grandma, my mom's mom, she would always used to tell me, like, when we would have visits over, like if it was somebody that she knew, like, que le gustaba barrar cosas, she would be like, oh, go and put your bags away or your iPads or anything of value, like, to go put it away in her room. And I would always question her. And I was like, why? Like, you know, like, it wasn't my house, but it was my grandma's. I was like, why do we have to put our stuff away when we're in our comfort zone? And she's like, oh, pues es que la gente es muy como mano larga. Like, you just don't know, like, what their intentions are. Yeah. And like
did you start questioning people?
What do you mean questioning people?
From the party.
Like, no, like, I feel like a part of me is like, I don't think somebody would do that, but then it's like, dude, you never really know. Like,
I started going down the list like, nah, they wouldn't do this.
But then like, you know what, I feel like I did think of like, oh, could have been this people, could have been that person. But then it's like, dude, my car's old as hell. Like, it's not a new car. Yeah. And it's like, why? I feel like if anything, it would have been like la maldad of like, nomás los voy a hacer desatinar, than just like, oh, I'm going to drive off with the car.
Yeah. I mean, that's still one of the theory. Maybe somebody took it and just like...
Just to fuck around with it.
Yeah, put it there. But who knows, man? But luckily, we ended up finding Chelo's keys. Well, Chelo found it, and I had to spend like $200 for the spare key. But at least now you know where it's at, right? The spare key. You have it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so now, like, dude, I remember, like, when the key was freaking missing, I was, like, praying to my grandma. I was like, oh, we're like, please just help me find the key. I was like, next time, like, I'm gonna freaking be like, I'm gonna put all my expensive shit away. Like, just please help me find the key, dude. And, like, I'm gonna listen to you for next time. But
dude, I almost forgot. Like, it's because it's been a week. And so something crazy that happened that actually Chelo
with
caught.
the chairs?
Yeah, the chairs.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Otra cosa.
So Chelo caught this, right? And Chelo had ordered chairs and tables from this one person. I think you ordered it from Facebook, right? From the marketplace.
Yeah, I found them on Facebook Marketplace.
And it turns out that I was the one dealing with them, like helping the guy out, bring the chairs and tables. Keep in mind, I didn't have to, but I just wanted to help him out. So I help him out, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, appreciate that. Like, hey, I have an extra table since you helped me out. You want to keep it, like for the party if you guys need it?" And he's like, "Most of the times people don't really help me out, so I appreciate that. Like, yeah, I'll take it if you don't mind." So we had an extra table. Long story short, after I helped him out bringing the tables and chairs to the backyard, apparently you were gonna pay him in cash, right?
Yeah, I had talked to him, or I don't know if it was him or his girl, but I had talked to them, and I was like, hey, like, can I pay you cash? Like, do you have change for $100? Because it was gonna be $85. And they initially said yes, so that's why, like, I told them, I was like, oh, the money's right there. Like, just make sure you give it to him and get your change.
Yeah.
And then I was putting the baby to sleep, and Angel was dealing with that. So as soon as the baby went down, I came outside to check on them. And then all of a sudden, you were like, oh, babe, can he sell you? And I was like, sell me for what? And he's like, oh, for the change, because he doesn't have change. And I was like, ay, like, este way, like, me dijo que tenía change y ahora me sale que no. So then I told him my phone number, and he sells me. And you get a text right away. And then I got a text and I kind of ignored it. And then the guy left. And I was like, he's like, oh, let me know once you get the sell notification. So then I went back into my text messages and I opened the message. And this guy's name was Angel's dad's name.
Yeah. So when Chelo told me, like, she showed me the name, like
the phone thing,
like the receipt of the Zelle. And she showed me the name. And I was like, oh, like, it was my dad's name, and I was just kind of like, I didn't really think of it much. But then when you said, oh, isn't it crazy that your exact dad's name appeared on the day of your daughter's birthday, right? And exactly my dad's name is Miguel Angel Aguilar, and that was the exact name that appeared on the Zelle receipt, Miguel A. Aguilar. And when he told me that, I was freaking mind blown, because at first I kind of like, okay, no big deal. People
you didn't put it two and two together,
right? And I didn't really think much of it, but when you put it in that, like, you made that connection, and I feel like there's no mistakes, right? And many people say that little signs like that are a way to show that people that have passed are still around.
Yeah, for sure.
That was crazy. I was mind blown.
Yeah, I feel like when I first showed it to you, you're like, oh, okay. And then I was like, dude, like, are you like captando, you know, like kind of like put more thought into it. And that's when you're like, oh shit, like I feel like that's when it kind of hit you more.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that was so weird. And I told Angel, like, after that day, I was like, dude, the fact that this guy didn't have change was meant to be, because if he would have had the change, he would have had not sell me. And like, I didn't even know his name, dude. Like, I just knew like his business name.
Yeah, and that's a key point. If he would have had to change, we would have never known. But it just so happened that he didn't have to change, which they had already told you.
They had already told me they had change.
It was like
it was
almost
meant to be.
Yeah,
dude.
It was meant to be for me to see the name.
Yeah,
crazy.
I think I still have it on my phone. I'm gonna check if I do have it, maybe you can add it on there.
Yeah, so I don't know, things like that. I really hope and I see it like a sign for sure that my dad is present, you know, watching over and seeing his granddaughter, you know, being a 1-year-old now.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like at first it's like, oh, they can have the like the name, but like one name, but the fact that it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's no way, dude. Like.
Yeah, too much of a coincidence, you know? And yeah, so Oh, and wasn't there other people that you were gonna choose or something like that?
Dude, I was like messaging a bunch of people, and a lot of them would lag it, and then they would be like, oh, like it's this much, or like, it would be too expensive. So I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna go with this person. And then I remember, like, at first I thought it was sketch, because I think I told you that he was like, oh, it's gonna be $85 with the drop-off fee, whatever. And then I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, y así quedó. And then he's like, I was like, oh, do you need a deposit? Because usually everybody asks for a deposit, like a $20 or something. Yeah. And they're like, no, we don't need a deposit. So I was like, they better like not be like, oh, al último minuto, like cancel on me, you know? And I was like, okay. And then the day before, because they drop off the stuff on Friday, a day before the party, on Thursday, they messaged me and they're like, oh, are we all good for Friday? And then I said yes. And then Friday, that's when all of that happened.
Yeah. Crazy. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm gonna do something that I haven't done in a while, but lately I've just been watching a lot of Ilia Taporia's like history and how he got into UFC and so many different things. And if you guys are not familiar with the UFC, it's pretty much like mixed martial arts. And I've been really into this UFC fighter, his mindset and everything. It's a similar mindset that I've had in the past. And this is one of the things, too, that a lot of times you go on with your day-to-day life. And at times you end up losing yourself, right? And or not losing yourself, but at times you forget that drive and that like motivation, that dedication that you have for yourself, right? And I feel like at times it happens to me in waves that I'm very motivated. I feel I'm back in the gym here at the house working out. I'm very dedicated here in the studio and the podcast and just with everything in life, right? But it comes in waves that at times I feel like I lose myself. I gain weight. Like right now, I don't feel at my best because I gain like a good maybe 15, 20 pounds. But whenever I do lose weight and I feel like 100% confident, like I feel like I can conquer the world, right? And I feel like watching and listening to all this positive mindsets and quotes and motivation is kind of like it sparks something inside of me again to kind of like gain myself back. And there's a quote. I see you listening, Chitla. Do you feel like, okay, any of this clicking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
So this quote came up in one of the, like I said, I've been watching a lot of people, like fans make out there, like they'll make like compilations of his fights and they'll put quotes and things like that. And there was one that I really liked and I just wanted to share with you guys. So it says, the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. That's the law. That's the whole game. Don't get the life you... Here, let me say it again. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. That's the law. That's the whole game. You don't get the life you want. You get the life that matches you. And the way that I want to understand it, or the way that I comprehend this quote, is obviously if you're just sitting in the couch, nothing's going to come into your life, right? Because you're not attracting anything better for yourself. But now if you're waking up early in the mornings, if you're working out, if you're, you set, if you write down a couple of goals you want to accomplish for the day, it doesn't have to be anything huge, right? But if you start building on those habits, slowly but surely, all the life that you're seeking eventually will find you because you attract that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I caught that, like, it was a good reminder for me to, like, okay, it's time to, shake off all the rust and let's get back on track. Because I personally right now, even though I feel like I haven't been lazy, because I've been working in the house and all that, and I've been going to sleep at times close to midnight because I was working around the house with your dad, then the podcast, the baby, then spending time with you. I feel like, man, it was just draining, but now I have a little bit more time, so it's time to like refocus, put myself back at being priority, obviously you, the baby, right, Teddy. But at the same time, if I'm not feeling 100%, how can I give my all to you guys? And then I also feel the same way as a man. Like at times, if I'm feeling a little bit more overweight, then it stops me from being 100% a man, that I don't feel as protective. You get what I'm saying? Like if I'm a little bit overweight, I know you joke around that, oh, like I want you want me to be fat, but
I'm not joking.
But you shouldn't feel like that, because as a man, you want somebody that's able to be protective, right? There's many people out there, and I don't see this as a bash to anybody, but there's a lot of men out there that they're overweight and they can't even pull themselves up. Like what if at one point, different scenarios out there, but what if at one point you need to pull yourself up to help rescue somebody and they physically can't? So wouldn't you want your man to be able to like rescue you, to be able to carry you, to be able to like be in the best shape possible, to be the man of the house?
Yeah.
So why do you, I know you say it, and right now you say that you're not joking around, but why? Why do you want an overweight person?
I just say joking around. I'm not meaning it for real.
Nah, because you enjoy when I gain weight.
Oh my God.
You do. You do, don't you? Yeah, you do. Okay, now you're backtracking. Because you say joking around, but you enjoy when I get a little bit chubbier. Or you
like
don't?
I don't really care.
Okay. But wouldn't you want your man to be like, oh, okay, like I know he's able to take care of us in any case scenario. Quick reminder, we now have a call-in number where you guys can leave us voice messages, video calls. Let us know a story you would want us to share on the podcast, anything you want. The goal is being able to interact with the people that support the channel. Even if you're looking for love, we will find your true love on Nomas podcast. Also, for anyone that is interested on creating your own channel, we have our Amazon storefront linked in the description, where you can find all the cameras we use, the microphones, the lights, the equipment, where all of our podcasts are recorded to. If you need any help with editing services, we are able to produce your entire podcast, edit your short form content from Instagram Reels, TikToks, etc. You can look at all of our content as reference, and we got you covered. And finally, if you want to support the channel, you can leave us a super thanks down below, which will help us tremendously, and we'll make sure to highlight that comment on the upcoming podcast and give you a shout out. Now back to the podcast.
Well, I just feel like I don't think about worst case scenario. That's the thing.
And I do. That's the thing I do, because I have to always be, and maybe you don't think of it, which is a good thing, right? Because that means that you have no worries.
Like, I just don't want to stress myself out. Like, I feel like you always like, oh, what if somebody breaks into the house or does this, does that? And like, I'm just like, dude, I'm not thinking about that.
But like I said, that's a good thing. Why? Because that means I'm doing a good job. Because you don't have any stresses, right? But me as a man, I have to be thinking of X, Y, Z scenarios. Because as a man, I have to be one step ahead, right? It's similar a reason why I like to sit at a restaurant facing the entrance, right? I can't give my back. Here at the house, I have to make sure that, that everything's locked up, that you're going to bed at night and you're safe and sound, the baby's good, that everything, like, in case something happens, obviously I'm not a freaking superhero, but at least I know that I'm going to do my best to take care of you guys. And like you said, that you don't even like to think about like that. Cool, fine. Keep it that way. But I am, right? As a man, I have to.
You think that's like how all men think, or you just think that's you?
I don't think all men think like that, because if they did, they wouldn't allow themselves to be overweight. Why? Because and there's different scenarios out there, right? There's different scenarios that people are overweight and maybe it's health issues, but that's a whole different case.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, what caused those health issues, right? Maybe it was a bad eating habits. Who knows, right? I don't know. Every case is unique. But if anything is within your reach to be able to become a better person, not only for yourself, but for your family, then you should be doing that. And when you ask me whether if I think like this or you feel like if I feel like other men think like me, maybe I'm sure there is. My cousin thinks like that too as well. That he's always thinking like, for example, he has a couple like weapons around the house. I do as well. Why? Because I just have to be like, okay, worst case scenario, boom. I know I have this here, and there, because I'm thinking like that. What if at one point, like even like having some sort of like extra food stocked, worst case scenario, hopefully we never need it, but if we do, it's there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I had to think like that. So if you're a guy out there, I would love to hear your thoughts, or even women out there. Like, do you guys feel like your guys' men think like this, or have you guys, or do you guys even think like this, or are you guys like with like Chelo that she doesn't even like think of such scenarios? I want to hear your guys' point of view.
Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's just, to me, it's just like, dude, if I don't need to stress about one more thing in my life, like I'm not gonna stress about it. Like I'm not gonna think about it.
Like I said, it's a good thing you're thinking like that as a woman. But similar, as something as simple as, I think you asked me like, oh, this happened about like, oh, this actually happened for the same day of the baby's birthday party that you asked, that one of the bathrooms was leaking from the bottom, like when you flush, and it was the same day of the birthday that. It was actually the night before the baby's birthday. I'm like, oh man, like one more thing to add on. And your mindset was like, oh look, like you're gonna have to fix this for the baby's party or something like that. And your mindset is like, oh, Angel got it. But what if I didn't even know how to fix that? Like I always have to be one step ahead.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What would you have done if I wasn't here?
I would have to gotten somebody to fix it, dude. Because I wasn't going to fix it myself.
And look at your thought process right away. You didn't even question it. You're like, oh, you're going to have to fix it. I'm the problem solver. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And me as a man, I get it, right? As a man, I feel like I do have to be the problem solver. So that's why I have to be thinking of different case scenarios, at least to the best of my abilities.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want to see in the comments what people are going to say.
Yeah, but going back to the whole weight stuff and yeah, like I feel like obviously I never let myself go 100%, but I know I get to a point that I'm like, man, I don't feel comfortable with myself.
You know, when I've noticed I usually go into that path whenever you're trying to like do house projects and then do the podcast, like whenever you're trying to do too many things at a time, I feel like that's when you're like, oh, like I don't know, like kind of like you lose track.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot, right? One it's the eating habits, right? Because one, I wake up early to go to work. Like I'm up by 4:45, by 5 at the latest. I'm up for work. I get home around 3-4ish. And once I get home, then there's like when I'm working on projects, then I have to pick up some food from like any place, so we can eat and then get started on projects. Then after that, I come and edit, and which just ends up being like 10, 11. Then I wake up, do it again, and many times I don't have time to do the meal preps. And so, or if I do, I'm just drained.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of my, and that's what happens. But yeah, it's just too many things that I can't handle it. So yeah. But I mean, now I think I have a little bit more time in my hands that I should be able to get back on track. You're tired.
Yeah.
Anyways, going back to the whole thing about like, I don't know why I went on this rant.
You were talking about alien support, and all of a sudden we went to your health fitness journey, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, because of the quote, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, about the like, pretty much at the end of the day, you're gonna attract like what you do on a regular basis. You're attracting that sort of lifestyle for yourself.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So like, if obviously, and this is key too. Like even with the podcast, even missing 1 week, I feel like I'm rusty. I feel like I need to get back on track. There's this quote that says, "An object in motion stays in motion," right? Because you have that momentum going, and then if you stop, but that's why I don't like stopping a lot of different things, because it's harder to pick yourself back up when you come to a complete stop. Mm-hmm. So if you're in motion, if you get up, if you like go on walks on a regular basis, if you whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, if you just continue going, even if you're not as fast from a day before, because maybe you are a little bit tired, but as long as you're not stopping at 100%, then you're staying in motion. Similar to the podcast, I took a week off and I was doing the vlog and I just kind of wanted to rest. I feel like, okay, like I need to get back on track into the whole podcast thing. So I always, start slow, never fully stop, but yeah, I'm getting back on track now. Primero ante Dios. Anyways, they say that when you're in water, right, when you're showering and all that the manifestation increases. I think we talked about this in the past.
Yeah, we've had.
Yeah. Have you ever tested that? Like, have you ever prayed in the shower?
I don't really think I've prayed in the shower, but I just feel like, I don't know, like if I feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, or I'm just like not having it in the day, and then I just go take a shower, like that will reset me.
Yeah.
Like mentally, that would reset me.
Yeah, well, they say that when you're like taking a shower and you're, visualizing and trying to manifest whatever goals and dreams you have in the shower, everything enhances.
You know why?
Well, one, because you're coming together with who you are, right? They say that the body is over 75% water.
Yeah, that's what
right?
I was gonna say.
And when the water hits you, you're getting more of your own element into you. Mm-hmm. And now if you're practicing meditation or manifestation within the water, you're closer to the source. Mm-hmm. Or were you going to say anything else?
No, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So yeah, it's weird, because even though I don't practice it as much, but for some reason when I'm in the shower and at times when I close my eyes, I feel like I receive a lot of different ideas. Try it out when you're, I'm not sure if it's because, and this might be the case, maybe because you don't have your phone with you, maybe because you're actually in tune with your thoughts. Yeah. And you're not fully distracted now. In modern days, there's so many distractions out there that everything is seeking for your attention.
Yes.
But when you're taking a shower, you're there physically and mentally, just you, the water, and your thoughts. Mm-hmm. So try it out next time.
I'm going to try it out.
And they also say that all the different ideas floating around, they're not your ideas. They say that ideas are spiritual things seeking for a body to manifest them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of like if somebody if the universe throws the idea of like, oh, do this podcast, it's not your idea, but it's just like, hey, a ver quién lo agarra.
Yes.
Like, get it and run with it.
And almost, it was almost as if it was seeking you. But if you don't take action, guess what? They're going to go to somebody else that they feel they can manifest it into the physical realm. Yeah,
because have you ever heard like of when people say like, oh, like, why is this person successful in, I don't know, let's say doing the podcast, like if this person's stupid or they're not that smart, but it's not because they're that smart, it's because they took the idea and they ran with it, and that's why they are the way they are. It's not because you might be better than them in many ways, but the fact that they're doing it and you're not, like, they're already winning.
Because they took action, right?
Yeah.
Because it's almost like this idea was floating around and it found you. You got it. Like you said, you might not be the best at it, but you actually took initiative. You grasped it and ran with it. So, and you're succeeding. Why? Because you actually took action into proceeding with this. And even though you're not the greatest, but you actually followed up with it. When other people, they just think of, there's so many people out there that just think of like so many ideas, but the problem is that they never take action. So many people have endless amount of ideas, but it just stays in their thoughts. It just stays in their thoughts. But and for me, I'm the total opposite. So many different things come in my head, and whatever I want to do, even though I might not be the best, but I just do it. And eventually everything will come into play.
Yeah.
Everything will come into play. Yeah. Do you feel like you're what way do you feel like you are? Do you feel like you have so many ideas in your head and you take action, or you're more just you let it ride? Or
I feel like I get a lot of ideas and then they just stay there, but I don't know, dude, because I know that I didn't used to be like this, so I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But yeah, I get, and we've talked about this. We've talked about that, right? That you used to be very, and you're still very in tune spiritually. I 100% believe this, but I feel like the goal getter kind of stopped in you. And that's not wrong. Why? Because you might be in that feminine energy, right? That you find that you have somebody taking care of you.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's something else. I don't know, dude. But it's just like, I feel like a part of me, it kind of like if I transition things, because before I was in spirit, like the way that I am right now, I feel like, no. Like that wasn't there. And it's like one thing went away, but another thing came.
Like, explain that a little bit more.
Like more of like, for example, before... for example, when I used to do the visitation thing, like, dude, like there was just so much paperwork that I had to figure out how to do, and like nobody was like, oh, you need to do this and this and this. Like, dude, like I had to figure it out, like, and do it all on my own. And then I had to tell my mom how to do her stuff, and then my mom would have friends that would take the same class, and they would all go to me for them to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, why can't you just figure it out? Like, nobody told me how to do it. Like, I had to, like, try and error to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I feel kind of like that part of me kind of just, like, stopped. But then, like, I got very in tune spiritually. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, the hustler part of you kind of, like, died down, and you're more in tune spiritually, right?
Yeah.
But what are you doing with the spiritual side?
Like, I just feel like I've been more connected to it than before. Because before, like, like, I would have dreams and things like that, but I'm just like, oh, like, this can't be real. Or I wouldn't really pay attention to it. Or, like, if things would happen, kind of like the thing where your dad's name, if it would have happened to me a couple of years ago, it would have been like, like, whatever. Like, I wouldn't really have put two and two together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I still feel like you can do a lot more with the like spirituality, holistic side for sure.
My mom's like, oh, what if you have like a gift? And I was like, dude, I don't know, but I don't know, dude, because it's just like whenever I tap into like meditation or anything, like I can see stuff. And I'm not saying I'm crazy, but I just like, I don't know. Like
the light or what?
Yeah, the light. Or like I was telling Leslie the other day that I was dreaming my grandma like a couple of days ago. But you know me, dude. Like whenever I dream something, like I'll remember it. And like this specific dream, like she was telling me stuff, and then I woke up, and like I could remember that she was telling me something, but I couldn't remember what the dream was about. And then like a couple of days ago too, like I had another dream, and like it was a bunch of people that I didn't even know, and they were talking to me, dude. And then this one freaked me out because, dude, like all of a sudden I heard like this fucking crazy ass voice like that yelled in my ear. Like they were like, get out. Oh, entonces me enchinó la pinche piel, dude. And all of a sudden, like I was just like running. And then I woke up because Jenny started crying. But that shit freaked me out.
You know, it's crazy what's happened in the past. I don't know if it's happened to you that I hear like a loud noise and just
You jump out?
I jump out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you? Like I feel like, but there was no noise. Or at least I feel like whatever noise there was no physical noise, but a loud noise woke me up out of my my sleep
out of your
state.
sleep?
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
I'm pretty sure it has happened to me.
Or at times, many times that you're awake, right? And then you feel like you're falling.
Oh, yeah, that's happened to me a lot of times.
What do they say about that? I think there's a saying for that.
I think your body reacts, like, does that when it feels like if it's dying or something like that. I've heard, dude, like, I know about it, but...
That's a crazy feeling, though, because you can be sitting down and then you're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's something about... Como que your body thinks like you're dying, and then it just kind of does like that jerky moment for you to like be like snap out of it.
That's insane.
That one is trippy, dude. I always get that in my sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And does it wake you up? Or
yeah, if I get that, it wakes me up. Or if I'm like falling asleep and all of a sudden I feel that jerk, I'm like, oh, dude, like it snaps me out of my sleep.
Yeah. Well, going back to the whole meditation and like being in the element of like water and all that stuff, there's a video here that showcases the power of grounding and being in tune with nature. Check this out.
Let me see.
Silver part. You see that? So that's on the concrete, it ain't producing nothing. Hold it in your hand. No, hold the silver part.
Okay, so right there she's holding onto this device for electrical current. You can tell that it's currently right now like at 70, right?
Oh, I thought it was 0.
You see that?
Yeah, it's
Nothing.
70.
Stand in the grass. Stand in the grass.
Holy
go in the
crap.
grass some more. Immediately. That's what grounding gets you. A recharge.
That's crazy, right? So I don't know if you ever heard, right? But supposedly one of the main reasons, not sure if this is even like a theory out there, but I've heard this. Yeah, I've heard this before, that's one of the main reasons why they wanted people to start wearing shoes with rubber and all that to stop you from grounding. Because obviously if you're barefooted just like this baby girl is stepping on grass barefoot, look at the energy that she's producing.
I wonder if she were to stand on the grass with the shoes, if the number would change.
That's a good point.
Huh. Or if it's gonna be the same thing.
That's a good point. Oh yeah, we should try that out.
And then another thing too is that you think that her level of grounding would be higher than an adult just because she's a kid.
Dude, we should try that out. But yeah, dude, like when
put Jeline on the grass, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I like to put the baby on the grass, right? Because they say that, you know how back in the days kids used to be like running around in the dirt playing with marbles, and you know, drinking water from the garden hose and so many different things like that. And if those kids for like our age, right, or at least my age,
your immune system.
Yeah, because you're so around with so many like dirt and all these bacteria, you create immunity. So and here you can see when you're grounded with nature, the amount of current you're producing.
Yeah, because that number literally doubled.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Or tripped.
Come back on the concrete.
Yeah.
Go back in the grass. Right.
She's like, just let me in my orange.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Crazy numbers.
She's like, leave me alone.
Yeah, she just wanted to eat her orange. Isn't that crazy though? But you brought up some good points though, that if I wonder if she did have those shoes,
If the number was going to change.
that's a good point. I think it is, right? But I would want to see it tested.
Yeah. They also say that you should ground depending on like what sign you are. Like if you're water, you should be grounding like in the ocean. And then if you're earth, you should be walking like barefoot. If you're fire, you should be dealing with something with fire.
Like burn yourself.
No, tampoco. But
Yeah, and something else that I saw. So it was somebody from the UK saw strawberries here in the United States and wondered why our strawberries are white from the inside. So you know how when you cut your strawberries, usually it's red around, but in the middle part, it's white. So check this out.
I knew Americans and their food were really strange, but wait until you see what their strawberries look like. Genuinely, their strawberries are inseminated with something. Why are their strawberries white on the inside?
So you see that's our normal strawberry for the most cases. Maybe not as white as that, but for the most case here in the U.S., at least in California, all the strawberries I've seen, they're similar to that, right?
there's some strawberries that are white. All white.
All white?
Yeah.
So check this out.
Another case in point. They are white. Why is it white? Another example of what the strawberries look like.
They're mostly like that.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not going to say what it looks like, but you know what I'm thinking. I might head over to America in a minute. What? Why are they white? Is a side by side of what our UK strawberries?
What the
Is
hell?
that what they're called?
That's insane. Right? It's fully red.
I don't know, English strawberries look like. This is America. They are definitely putting something in them. Strawberries are meant to be juicy, succulent,
Look at that,
red.
no white.
Americans, I hate to tell you, but I think they're putting something in your strawberries because that is not a strawberry. It's just not. It's not. Why is it white in the inside? What the hell is going on over America? I would love to go over there, but seeing this is what fruits look like over there, I'm concerned about what they're injecting into those things. I knew Americans and
That's crazy. They say that a lot of our fruit currently right now, it's all like
Lab made.
Yeah, not lab made, right? But it's been like tampered with.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
You know how there's a lot of fruits now that hardly have seeds?
Like the water. Dude, right now that you're saying that, my mom got a watermelon, I think it was a month ago. I don't know what store she got it from, but dude, like the inside looked funky, and she even said like, "Oh, it looks like one of those TikTok watermelons." Como que they messed around with it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
like rubber.
Yes, and then she had cut it because she was gonna give Jaylee and I some watermelon, and I was like, she's like, I don't know, it looks funky, and then I saw it and it did, and it's more funky too, and then we ended up throwing it away.
Yeah, you know, like those. I guess lab-made watermelons, like you bend it and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
In the original watermelons, you would break it and it was just pure water, right?
Yeah.
And it will like break apart.
Yeah, that watermelon looked hella funky, and we ended up throwing it away. She's like, I don't want to comer eso.
Where'd she get it from?
I don't remember. I need to ask her.
Yeah, stay away from there.
Yeah.
Have you seen the real bananas? Have you ever seen those?
I feel like I've had. I can't remember, to be honest. What the heck?
Yeah, so that's how a real banana supposedly looks like. Because if you think about it, our current bananas, they don't have any seeds, so it doesn't make sense.
No, but then I feel like it has the little dots where the seeds would go.
Yeah, you're right.
What the hell?
But that's supposed to be a real banana.
Damn.
That's our current one right there.
Dude, it's like when you buy strawberries and then you buy like, there's some that say like organic, but then they're like huge and you're like, dude, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And that's the thing too, though. Like, why would you have to like label fruits organic? Everything should be organic. Everything that comes from the earth should be organic, right? Well, like, why did this like terms come to be? Like, why mess with our food consumption?
Because if you mess with your food consumption, they mess with your health.
Yeah.
And then you end up being aware, and I'm not gonna keep going down that rabbit hole because we're gonna get flagged.
Yeah, this is all for entertainment purposes.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Say allegedly all over it.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's crazy. So yeah, I've never seen strawberries like the one that girl had before, but apparently in the UK, that's a normal thing.
We need to go to the UK and look at and taste those. I wonder if they taste the same, or if they taste more sweeter. Because I feel like whenever you bite a strawberry and it has a lot of the white stuff, se sabe como sour.
Yeah, it doesn't even taste sweet.
Yeah.
All right, and the last video we're gonna be reacting to, it's a father jumps. I'm not sure if you've seen this one, but there was a father that jumped into the ocean from Disney cruise ship.
There's no way he survived that, dude.
To save his daughter. You didn't hear about this?
No, but just from hearing the story, I don't think the girl survived, and I don't think the dad survived.
So the thing is, the thing is, a lot of people are saying that supposedly he had put the baby girl like on the side of the ship or the Disney cruise ship to take a picture, but they're saying that the story was completely different. So check.
The father that jumped off the Disney cruise ship to save his 5-year-old daughter did not set her on the railing for a picture. According to a crew member that claims to have witnessed the incident, the girl was climbing on the railing while her parents were playing shuffleboard. That crew member also stated that the area that the girl fell from is often very windy, and a sudden gust of wind could have contributed to the child toppling over the edge. The girl fell from deck 4 that has a jogging track that is lined with railings that extend 3.5 feet from the floor with plexiglass in front of them. But there are also large portholes on that deck that do not have plexiglass, and a child could certainly fall from those. Several passengers say that the girl's mother was hysterical after watching her daughter and husband go over the side. According to witnesses, the mom was yelling, "She's 5 and can't swim."
So yeah, the baby girl was 5 years old, and the dad ended up jumping after her and saved her.
Dude, that's like a miracle. Because if they would have been on the top deck, I don't think they would have survived. Let alone if the ship would have been moving.
Or at times, people get scared or don't know how to react. Right? For when there's something in emergency, at times people freeze.
That's true. But for the most stories that I've heard of people falling off from the cruise, like they don't even go look for them because they just assume the person passed away, dude. Because think about it, like if you're in the middle of the ocean, dude, like you don't know if 90%, maybe there's probably sharks there wherever you are. If you fall from the top deck, dude, like I don't think you're gonna be like by the time you get down to the water. And then like think about the propellers in the ship, dude, like that shit's gonna suck you up.
Yeah.
But I mean,
on that deck that do not have plexiglass, and a child could certainly fall from those. Several passengers say that the girl's mother was hysterical after watching her daughter and husband go over the side. According to witnesses, the mom was yelling, "She's 5 and can't swim."
Dude,
This brave
like
dad
worst
jumped 50
feeling
feet
ever.
into the open ocean,
50 feet.
located his 5-year-old daughter that couldn't swim, and kept her afloat for 20 minutes until rescue crews were able to reach them. The father that jumped off the Disney...
Dude, that's true. It's just to find her. You know, dude, because one thing is the baby falling, but like what if he couldn't even find her? But man,
because she couldn't swim, dude, it's not like she was gonna try to be like oh,
to
I'm
swim
here.
Up. Yeah. That's insane. That's a miracle. But that's the thing, dude, like with kids, knock on wood, right? But you can't like be distracted at all because anything can happen.
Yeah, let alone being... Dude, that's why I'm like... you could never pay me money to go on a freaking cruise, dude. Like, I'm scared of that shit. I'm never going on one.
Yeah, especially those videos that you've seen on TikTok, right? The ones that...
Yo... I know, dude. Like, hell no. Yo ho.
Yeah, and everything's like pitch...
Hero, and the fucking ship is like...
yeah, everything's like pitch black and waves and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not happening.
All right, dude. What emoji are we going to choose for this episode?
Is there a key emoji?
A key? Okay.
A key?
Is there a key?
I'm pretty sure there is a key.
Okay. If not a key, a car.
A car.
A birthday cake for the baby.
A birthday cake for the baby.
And what else? What else did we talk about? and bicep because I started working out again. Yeah, I'm currently around 180. I need to get back at 165. So 15 pounds to lose. Cool. All right. Once again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Leave us one of the emojis. I am now gonna start doing the lives on Sundays, 8 p.m. Every Wednesday, doing a new podcast. But now I want to start doing the lives once again on Sundays, 8 o'clock. Cool. It's getting late. What time is it?
Probably like 10. Oh shit! It's gonna be 11.
It's gonna be it's 10:57. Till next time.
Bye.
Hoy no más.